Hi guys, it's Angie and welcome back to my Flosstube channel, the channel where I talk about cross stitch. Welcome to all of my new subscribers. I'm so excited that you're here. There have been quite a few, which makes me super happy. And welcome back to all of my other subscribers who've been continuously returning. I love it, and I'm so glad that you like what you see enough to come and visit with me every week. And so thank you so much. Let's see. Well, it's June 1st. My mania didn't go completely as I had planned, but I did well enough and I made a lot of progress on the things that I had originally planned to progress on. I did not start any new Mirabilias. Mainly, well, I'll show you at the end of the video. I kind of went through and did a whip check, and that's part of the reason why. I guess first, let's just go ahead and get started with what I've been stitching this week. And, oh, you know what, actually, because it's June 1st, I have my May stats. So let's start with that, and then we'll go on into what I've been stitching. Sound good? Sounds good to me. Okay, so for the month of May, I worked on 11 projects. I worked on 11sies, and Stargazer, Northern Night, Bigfoot, Dark Queen of the Sea, Garden Prelude, Giant Harry Potter, Avatar Alphabet, Jaws, and then I worked on Never Ending Cycle and Red, White, and Bloom, which you will see shortly. Okay, so for 11sies, I only worked on that once for 587 stitches. Stargazer, I worked on for 10 days. And I got 8,734 stitches. And that includes the beading that I've done because I use a full cross stitch with the beads to keep them held on there nice and tight. Northern Night, I worked on 3 different times, 3 different days for 929 stitches. Bigfoot was 3 days for 1,645. Dark Queen, I worked on for 9 days. In the past, it's taken me 1 to 3 days to complete a section, except for the first one. That took me the whole month because I was just being sporadic. But anyway, 9 days on Dark Queen for 5,118 stitches. Now that does include that one area from last month that I frogged and then restitched. So I think the total came to the total for the actual part was just under 5,000 stitches, but still, that's a lot for one section and a stitch along. That was crazy. Okay, Giant Harry Potter, or I'm sorry, Garden Prelude, I worked on for 2 days because I was mainly checking colors and fixing stuff. So I did only work on it for 2 days, but it was a complete restart. And in those 2 days, I was able to get 1,951 stitches. So even though I'd only worked on it twice, I worked on it big time. Giant Harry Potter, I worked on for 2 days for 1,828 stitches. Avatar Alphabet, I worked on twice for 1,700 stitches. Jaws, even though you guys saw that I had finished it, it carried over into the first 2 days of May. And so for those first 2 days of May, I actually ended up, that's when I finished stitching on Jaws for 1,831 stitches. And then I worked on Never Ending Cycle for 2 days for 632 stitches and Red, White, and Bloom once for 223 stitches. So my total stitches for the month of May, 25,178. I might have a problem. That's a lot. I think that's my highest total for the entire year. I should go back. I haven't actually like written down to keep track of each month's monthly totals. I've got them on the video so I can go back and figure it out. That's a lot. Now, if you're new here, then you wouldn't know. But two of my kids we've been doing virtual school up until the end of April, I believe. Yeah, it was the end of April. And it wasn't until the end of April that any of my kids could even go back in person. And two of my kids were really, really struggling with focus. And so pretty much for the entire school year, I had one kid parked on the couch here and one kid parked on a couch here. And then I was sat in between so I could see their computer screens, because I had one kid who notoriously went off subject and found himself into YouTube or some sort of something or other where he wasn't paying attention. So I really had to monitor what he was doing. And the other kid had a problem with falling asleep. He stayed on task until he fell asleep. So I was monitoring these two kids for the entire school day. And it got to the point where I couldn't even get up to go do laundry or whatnot, because I'd come back and find kid A doing what he wasn't supposed to. So because of that, I've had a lot of time to stitch, sitting there doing nothing but stitch, watch, stitch, watch. So I have had a lot of time to stitch, okay? This is not something that I think the average person is going to be doing. I just had nothing else to be doing. Now, kid A is now graduating high school, and kid B is now in class 4 days a week. So I don't have the excuse to just sit there and work. So now, probably starting now in June, and especially since the summer is starting, my stitch counts are going to be a lot less. I don't expect that I will be working 8 hours a day on stitching. I expect that my numbers will drop quite a bit. So I hope that doesn't disappoint people, because I know seeing grand progress and grand numbers is really exciting. When you see, I know it can be frustrating when you're following somebody and you're very invested on a project that they're doing and you see minimal progress on it. So hopefully that doesn't steer anybody else away. Whenever I have a time, I try to get all of the chores and errands and things that I feel like need to be done early on, so that I can then do more later. All right, so let's go ahead and start with, there's not a whole lot of progress. My dog is sniffing the trash because reasons. I'm going to go ahead and just take part of the Q-snap off on my, I don't remember exactly how far along I was on Garden Prelude, but I definitely added some more. So here's where I'm at on Garden Prelude, and yeah, this is going to be fantastic. I was a little bit nervous about the browns, but I do think that the browns make it look more like it's a golden dress rather than just a yellow. The ruffles are clearly evident, and it was a fantastic choice, if I do say so myself. No, I'm very happy with this. Very, very happy with this. So there's where we're at. This is not getting put away. It's probably not going to get as much attention. I don't know. I'm working, Semi-Sane Stitchers has kind of a Trivial Pursuit game going on this month that I just got all set up. And one of the things is, if you land on a certain colored heart, you have to stitch on something where the main focus is a female. And so I'll probably put some more in this. It'll probably be a dance between this one and Stargazer's Beating, which I didn't work on Stargazer at all this week. So you would think I'd be so excited about the beating, just get her done. But it's kind of calming, and I don't want to rush it, which sounds horrible, but I don't. Plus, I don't think I'm ready financially to be able to frame her. And if I get her done, I want to frame her. So I need to kind of hold off just a titch. on her so that I don't put us in the poorhouse. All right, I did work on Giant Harry Potter. I worked on it last week and forgot to show you guys. So there is, I'm trying to finish the border, but let's go through. So here is where I'm at. Oh my goodness, you can't even see the whole thing. So I pretty much finished the whole top half of the border. I had some issues with stitch count and things being off, especially these things, but I finished these on both sides. So there's that one. No, I didn't finish this one, so I still have to finish this one. But I did get the wand and the toad done and the little golden thingies. There's still a couple golden thingies I didn't get done, but and I've got the letter, the pumpkin juice, and then I was worried that I wasn't gonna have enough fabric. I started in the middle, so I should have enough fabric, but I always worry. I'm gonna be fine. So I started just doing the outlines, so that this has to be filled in, this has to be filled in. So I'm just sort of doing the outlines as I go down. I have 2 of these to do, and then it's the bottom, so I have enough fabric. I also added Dumbledore. I just have to fill in his eyes. I finished filling in this dude. I still have to put a tail on him. And I think, oh, and then I added words. So that's the work that I did on Giant Harry Potter. And unfortunately, I don't think I can do before and after side-by-side pictures. So, but, so I pull this out every now and then, and I think I might, this will be able to work for the Trivial Pursuit too. One of the colors is to work on something that's a cartoon or a video game, and Harry Potter has been made into video games, lots of different video games. Not to mention it has animals, which is another category I can use as animals. So I worked on that. And then I also worked, I snuck this in. This was done on Friday. Here's Uncle Iroh right here, and then this is Jet, who is kind of integral in some of it. He shows up several times throughout the episodes. I had an issue though. So I finished this, I counted over and I finished this, and these are supposed to all line up. And this one was over by 1, and this one was over by like 4. I didn't even notice. So you'll notice how much closer Jet is to this than he is to this. I'm trying to decide if that's gonna bug me or if I need to frog him out, move him back, and redo it, because this was off, so he was off, so this was off. It was terrible. I was able to fix these, so now they're all lined up just fine. And then the next row actually has an extra character in it, so they're all gonna be off on the next row. But then the row below that will all line up with these again. So it's like artistically done. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to frog him and move it. I don't think it's going to bug me. Like, I think in the grand scheme, it's not going to bug me. But when I'm all finished with the pattern, I think that's when I'm going to look at it and be like, okay, does anything stand out as hinky? And if it does, then I'll just redo him then. But for now, I just needed, these would have bugged me. So I had to redo those. I didn't count those in my stitching total for the month. I should have, but I totally didn't, because I was just trying to get them done and put back so that it was normal. You guys, do you notice how often I have to frog? Is that normal, or is it just because maybe I rush too quickly to get into something and then I don't count well enough? I'm pretty sure it's me not being completely focused. I frog a lot, and it only bothers me if it's a huge amount of work. Thankfully, I actually caught the issue with I caught the issue with this only after I'd gotten this line and like up half. I hadn't finished it. This one I didn't catch at all until I caught this one, so but if you guys I frog a lot. It's a good thing I like frogs. Okay, I started 2 new projects. I told you guys I was going to start these. I was just really excited and I wanted to start them. So this is part of the laundry trio, and this is the Never Ending Cycle. When I bought these off of 123 Stitch, I actually went in, clicked on the pattern, and then it has that box underneath it that has, you know, here's the fabric, here's the called for floss, and you can click a button and it will say include all of this in my cart. So that's what I did. One of the pieces of fabric, they're all supposed to be the same size, but one of the pieces of fabric was quite a bit smaller than the others. So what I did is I started in the middle, which was the H, and then I stitched all the way up to the top border and then all the way down to the bottom border just to make sure it would fit on this. And then this is all the way to the far right. And then this is all the way to the far left. So the whole thing's gonna fit just fine. And I don't know why I have the other pieces which are bigger. I don't know. It's not a very huge pattern. And I mean, this right here and then down here are gonna be the toughest things. Everything else is pretty small stitchy stuff. So anyway, this is just something I'm working on. It was a challenge that was brought up in Magical Stitches on Monday. Well, it was Sunday to Monday about Hecate. I think she's goddess of the family or something like that, being ignored. And so we were supposed to stitch on something, as many stitches as we could that reminded us of our family. Well, my family gives me lots of laundry. So I did that, and then I also started Red, White, and Bloom just to get it started. This pattern, there's 5 pieces. This one is the largest. I could not get one piece of this fabric. This is the called for fabric, but I couldn't get one piece the size that they said all 5 would fit on. So I ended up getting 2 pieces. And so I'm doing the largest pattern on here so that I can make sure that at least this one and the next largest I'm going to try to get to fit on here. And then that way I know it's all spaced out fine. So this one will just say Red, White, and Bloom, and it'll have 2 eagles. So just got a quick start on that. And that is all my starts and all my progress for the week. This week, if you'll notice, in the month of May, I did not put 1 stitch into Map of Middle-earth, which makes me a little bit sad. So I need to pull out Map of Middle-earth and do a lot of work. Thank heavens for semi-sane stitching. One of them is work on a full coverage piece. So I might use that. Otherwise, I also, for Magical Stitches, I also have to work on my oldest whip because that's actually in the challenge this week, which is Northern Night, and that's also a full coverage. So I can kind of maybe do a cross between those, but I do need to put some focus on Middle-earth because that's my big one. Okay, so real quick, like I said, I did not start. I bought a new notebook to keep track of my whips. I have my planner to keep track of what I'm doing each week. This is just to keep track of my whips and finishes. So I went through and I rewrote down all of my whips, and I went through everything I had, and I wrote them down, and then I counted them, and I believe I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I had 21 whips until I started these last 2, so that makes 23. But that does not include Magic Study or World Traveler, which are the 2 Hades that I have, the 2 big Hades. I have not touched Magical Stitches, or Magic Study. I have not touched that since I think February. I have not thought about it since February. I have not been interested in stitching on it since then. And I haven't thought about the other World Traveler pretty much since I bought it. I think that I have been suffering from FOMO, which, if you don't know, fear of missing out. I remember explaining why I bought Magical Stitches. Magical Stitches came on board. I keep saying Magical Stitches. You guys know where my brain is at right now. Magic Study. A lot of my friends and virtual stitchers were stitching on it when it first came out, and I didn't buy it. And then it was no longer available because it was a special release. And then I think a month and a half or so later, it came back, and I'd seen all my friends stitching on it, and they were all talking about it, and they were having so much fun with it. I was like, ooh, now's my chance. I'm going to jump in, and I can be part of this. So I did. I jumped in, and I think I've put like 11,000 stitches in it because I really wanted to do it. But as I'm going through all my whips that I have, I'm looking at everything and I'm like, I really love this. I really love this. I know where this is going. This is exciting. This calls to me. Oh, I've missed you. And I didn't feel that way at all about either of those Hades. I didn't look at Magic Study and say, I've missed working on you. Like I'm saying about Middle Earth. I've missed working on my Middle Earth, my big map. It calls to me. I think that I wanted so badly to be a part of this, the Hades, that I just went and I found one and I bought it with the intention of doing it. And I just realized maybe it's just not for me. Now, I have 3 Hades. I have the Magic Study. I have Words World Traveler, but I also have Mini Sasquatch. And as you've noticed, I love Mini Sasquatch and I'm working on that. So I'm thinking it really either has to be a Hade that really speaks to me or a mini. I just don't think I'm cut out for the super large ones. I don't know if I have the patience. Now, saying this, Map of Middle Earth is really large, but the difference is I'm very fangirl about Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings. I love this map, and I have got an image of where it's going to go in my house and everything. I know it's going to be in a really fancy frame. I've got it all planned out in my head. It's going to be fantastic when it's done. But I just am not feeling that way. So I think that I'm not going to do them. I think that I'm just going to take those ones completely off my plate. I don't think that I've missed out on anything by, you know, I don't know. That's just my thoughts about that. So that's why, but because I have I had the 21 projects already, and I have not finished either of my Mirabilias, I decided not to start any new Mirabilias. I did start these 2, but all of these, I mean, like I said, this is a small pattern. This is not going to take very long. It's not going to take a whole lot of time away from when I could be starting the other. So I just need to write my start dates on those, and then I will have officially 23 things going. And yeah, so you're probably not going to see, and I'm not getting rid of Magic Study or World Traveler, but you're probably just not going to see them for a while. If maybe someday it will hit me and I'll want to work on it again, but probably not anytime soon. So, but that just leaves me more time for some of the ones that I'm really passionate about, which you really do. There's only so much time in the world, and time in your life, you only have so much time, and you don't actually know how much time that is. And I'd rather be working on things that I know I love. So there's my little soapbox, and just explanations for why you guys probably won't be seeing those. However, I've got my other Hade, my Mini Sasquatch, that I will be working on. I have worked on. I love that one, and I'm not going to stop on that one. All right, I've got to end this video pretty quick because, again, I'm using my phone. I don't have a lot of storage anymore. I'm going to have to, like, reformat my phone again. after I film so many videos, I delete the videos after they're posted. I delete everything off my phone, and I delete them out of the cache and everything. But the problem is there's remnants that remain that use up my storage that I can't delete off my phone. And so after a while, my phone's storage will no longer accept long videos, and I'll have to start deleting apps and everything, and it becomes a big pain. So then I have to reformat my phone so I can do my videos again. I just need to get a camera that is specific to this. I just haven't done it yet. All right, so now for the giveaway. I had 7 people comment with the tag word bake. And so I used it on my phone. So I can't actually do the random comment generator in front of you because I'm talking to you on my phone right now. So I took a screenshot. It has the date and time. I did the random comment generator thingy right before I started filming. And Heather Miller, you are the winner. So congratulations. And I already have your email address. I need to start, because I don't want to get scammed by people, because I know that can happen where people who aren't actually you send. Anyway, I already have Heather's email address, so I can get your address from you that way. So I will be reaching out to you to get that, so I can send this off in the mail this week. But I'm working on, it's not like I'm going to have a whole lot of giveaways because I just don't have a whole lot of stuff, but I do have some other patterns that I'm not going to be stitching that I've either purchased and decided against, or I won, or whatever. And I showed you a few of those. So I will have some more giveaways in the future. So I'm probably going to try to put together one of those Google Docs so that if you're ever interested in winning something, if I do a giveaway, there will be a way for me to be able to have your information already, so that somebody who just happens on the video can't be like, ooh, I want that. That sounds cool. Let me see if I can sneak my name in there instead of so-and-so's. You know what I mean? It's happened before. So congratulations to Heather. Here's the screenshot of her win this morning. And I think that's everything for today. Yeah. So over the summer, I think I'm going to switch to doing every other week for videos instead of weekly, just because I don't know what the summer entails. I've got a couple kids trying to get jobs. Neither of those kids know how to drive, so taxi. One of them has to pay me for taxi service, though. That'll be fun. So I've got that going on. Plus, I think we're going to really try, now that Virginia is starting to open up, once we are all fully vaccinated, I still have a week or so to go, then we're going to start trying to find like pools and hikes and places to go to see some stuff. So I think every other week will work really good for the summer. When school's back in session, I might change it back to weekly. So, but then you'll get to see lots more progress. So anyway, I'm going to be done. I have a kid not feeling so well today, so I'm going to go check on him. The kid that's 4 days of school, all of a sudden now we have a tummy bug. Haven't had a tummy bug in a year. Now we have a tummy bug. Germs. I'm not going to miss that part of lockdown when nobody got sick, because we never went anywhere. Okay, enough. Congratulations to Heather. Welcome to everybody else who has joined me. I'm so happy that you were here. I enjoy visiting with you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye. Can you guys hear that? That is the sound of Brood X, the cicadas that come out every 17 years. This is what it sounds like all day, every day. Just that drone in the background, never ending. It's so cool.